Okay, sweet bees, what's happening? And today's date is January 25th, 2014, and it's 4:07 p.m. So I had to hurry up and make this video. This is January 25th, 2014 news segment. Some bicyclists are going by right now. Alright, so before I start the news segment, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the phone to literally tell you the time and date, because it's got a feature within the tools menu called voice command, and I'm going to activate that. As a result, there's an additional feature within the voice command that allows the phone to tell you the date and time.
Say a command. January 25th, Saturday, 4:08 p.m.
Okay, now January 25th, 2014, this particular news segment is dedicated to me talking to you a little bit about what gaslighting means. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to even tape record what I'm stating right now. Let me just make a personal notation in the tape recorder, since the tape recorder was turned on after the video was started. This video is, I'm literally making a video right now. The video is recording, and I've already started talking into it for about at least a minute. Alright, and I'm going to have to use the phone one more time in order to be able to make sure that the audio file that's recording is aware also of what time and date it is.
Say a command. January 25th, Saturday, 4:09 p.m.
Okay. Now, the reason why I do this is because sometimes when I make video predictions, and I always tape record my, sometimes when I make videos, okay, which I've now begun to call news segments, okay, every time I make a video, I also tape record what I state in the video, in order to be able to keep a log in space and time pertaining to the theme of the statements and the subject matters that I'm describing. And I want to be able to make sure that a backup, a failsafe, is being used on not only the video camera but also on the tape recorder, in reference to me using two separate modes of electronic means to prove the date and time. The tape recorder reflects the date and time. The video camera's got a timestamp on it, okay? And the video file is also shown a iconic picture on my cell phone pertaining to the date and time, and then I use the voice command. And I do this for legal and strategic purposes, and that it doesn't need to be discussed any further. This particular news segment is being made in reference to me talking to you about some of the techniques and tactics and methods pertaining to the criminal expeditions of what is known as organized stalking. Now, I'm making this video right now not because of any mental or emotional reactions that I experienced today as a result of me being harassed by some individuals. I'm hiking in California, in San Diego County, and they set up, the person who's managing the gang stalking of me set up some skanks about 100 feet away. I've talked about them in numerous videos, but the reason why I'm making this video is because I want to be able to make videos that describe the techniques that are being brought about against organized stalking, gang stalking targets, based on my own motivation, not because I was harassed today, or not because of any slight emotional or mental reactions I had to it, because I'm getting very good at minimizing any mental responses or emotional responses based on what I hear that they're intentionally making me hear. But I am going to talk about what they do, so you can get a preliminary introduction in reference to how they operate, and I'm also going to give you some examples pertaining to information that I've read online, research, pertaining to other targeted individuals' testimony, and additional research that is all over the internet pertaining to organized stalking, gang stalking, techniques, methods, tactics, maneuvers, and schemes. Okay? And I'll probably, I'm sure, add some other sub-details. Now, let me just light a cigarette, because I just got back inside my tent. I had to go do some things outside of it, and just got back in it. I still got to make dinner. But, so let me just light this up real fast. Now, as soon as I get this cigarette lit, and take a puff of it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain something to you that's going to help. And the way I explain it, you're gonna be glad that you watched this video, because it's going to be very informative. So let me just light this. I made a couple other videos pertaining to the particular subject matter of this video, me talking about gaslighting. But what I'm trying to do is basically educate fellow targeted individuals out there, okay, who might not thoroughly and completely understand what's happening to them as a result of them hearing seasoned, educated targets talk about what they have identified pertaining to not only the method but the motivation of the method, okay, and to expose to the public and to the target not just the intention of the method, the motivation of it, but the lengths these filthy animals will go to do it, okay, and the personality of theirs, which you will easily be able to deduce as a result of you hearing the method and then the intent and motivation behind it. Now, I've been a target for so long to where my mind is starting to recuperate from the traumas and the victimization and the psychological shock. Okay, and I'm reasonably intelligent, so what I do is through experience and research I deconstruct how they operate so my mind can make sense of it, because a huge aspect of organized stalking and gang stalking expeditions are psychological operations. That's why you're going to see when you start investigating these criminalities that a lot of targeted individuals will label their blogs and YouTube videos gang stalking or organized stalking and psychological operations. Because the whole goal and intent for the manager of these expeditions who's perpetrating the crime against you, who's managing it covertly and covertly creating dire circumstances for the targeted individual to live in and experience, basically every aspect of our lives is completely destroyed, from our credit to being able to live in an apartment or a home or even a motel room or even our car. Okay, I'm going to try not to get into too many sub details or sub issues, because I've already made a lot of other videos, huge amount of videos that in-depthly describe all their tactics and methods, and you'll discover them once you start researching this crime online. This particular video is in reference to gaslighting. Okay, and what that really means, because it's an excellent way, what I'm going to state in this video is going to be an excellent way for you to be able to form a mental and emotional response based on you being able to see literally what they do and the intention that is behind what they do and what they perpetrate pertaining to gaslighting. So, to give you, in order to anchor in your mind the nature and the intent of what they do when it comes to gaslighting, is to literally describe to you some information. I'm not going to say that I'm actually going to backtrack and dismiss what I initially said in reference to how I'm being gaslighted. I'm not going to talk about how I'm being gaslighted or how I'm not being gaslighted. You're going to be the judge in reference to you reading between the lines. That way I can protect myself in reference to any organized crime member that's in the system, including police officers, prosecutors, judges, probate attorneys, and whatever, who attempt to try to call targeted individuals mentally ill. Gaslighting is a term, they're psychological operations, and it's not only intentionally designed to undermine your psychology and your perceptions, but they also will then turn around and call you crazy and mentally ill if you complain about what's factually actually happening. Okay, so let me just take a puff off the cigarette and find my water bottle. Hold on a second. Okay, now, in order to build a foundation, okay, to build upon, to help you see the subject matter in reference to intent, motivation, and the tactic, is to give you is to talk to you about something that you can literally even go to YouTube and watch the entire movie. And that way you can get a in-your-face literal example of one of the main methodologies of these expeditions. There's a movie that was made in the 40s called Gaslight with Ingrid Bergman, and I forgot the other stars that were in that movie. And when I first discovered that what was happening to me was called gang stalking, organized stalking, I eventually ran across the term gaslight on the internet, because gaslight is a literal term that describes gang stalking, organized stalking methods and maneuvers, tactics, and schemes. Remember what I said, there's one of the huge aspects of these expeditions that the criminals perpetrate against the target are done to psychologically undermine the target's psychology, including personal psychology and general psychology that all human beings have, and to undermine their perceptions pertaining to how the actual tactic is being utilized against the target and around the target, and even directly towards the target. So let me just go ahead and start describing the meat and potatoes, and then when I explain some details, I guess you can consider those the peas and the carrots. And let me just get my bottle out here real fast. Now, take what I state and fold it back onto the movie Gaslight, and then research, go to Google and type in sensitization methods, the direct conversation tactic, and any other detail that I describe in this particular video. Now, let me just explain to you a little bit about what the movie Gaslight was all about. Ingrid Bergman had a grandmother or an aunt or something that died and left her a house, okay? And it looks like the movie was made in the 40s, but it was made in a setting to where it looked like it was from the 1800s, I think, or maybe the early 1900s. And basically, she didn't have a lot of relatives, and one of the main last relatives she had died and left a house to her. And that relative who left the house to her in the will also hid some jewelry in the house. If I remember correctly, I think it was in the piano. Okay? Now, word got out, I forget exactly how, because I haven't watched the movie in a year or two. Word got out that there was possibly some jewelry hidden in this house, and it got out and it was heard by the wrong person, this man. And when he heard that Ingrid Bergman was the only left surviving relative, basically he found out enough about her, he basically developed a scheme, okay, to meet her, date her, and marry her. And why did he do this? Because he wanted the house and he wanted the jewelry. And he had enough knowledge. He had enough legal knowledge to know how to get it. And he attempted to try and get it by marrying her, becoming her spouse, and then developing and implementing techniques to make her think she was going crazy, to make her appear that she was crazy to the social circle that she was involved with and that he eventually got involved with, okay, as a result of marrying her, and then to eventually try to drive her crazy to institutionalize her so he could gain legal custody of the house and then eventually find the jewelry. Now, let me just stop for a second in reference to me describing how he did this once they got married. To say, so I can make a footnote, one of the main aspirations of why they're utilizing the methods that they're utilizing against current organized stalking targets is for the same objective, literally. It's not just a technique this husband is using against Ingrid Bergman, okay? The technique is also a method of gang stalking, but the aspiration and the motivation of why he's doing it is also connected to gang stalking. Organized stalking and gang stalking is nothing but organized crime in the system. Probate judges, probate lawyers, syndicated prosecutors, syndicated members in the DA's office, syndicated cops, syndicated fire department personnel, and syndicated doctors. Syndicated probate control of the target's finances, their property, their mortgages, the equity of their mortgage. That's right. Homes, all different types of land, property that you can think of. Identity theft, insurance fraud, human trafficking, including even taking syndicated probate control of the target's children, so they can be treated like straw people and put into syndicated run organized crime foster care homes. They also will attempt to take syndicated probate control of the elderly or any individual, because once they take syndicated probate control of any individual, they can not only co-opt the finances of that individual once they place them in a syndicated run group home or elderly care home, but they will also apply for federal, state, and local benefits in the target's name once they get the syndicated probate control. So these techniques are not only designed to drive the target crazy, but they're also designed to call the target crazy and to make the target appear crazy, just like in the movie Gaslight. Literally. My name is Leslie Williams. I'm in San Diego, California. Now, there are many different techniques. Hold on a second. There are many different techniques that these perpetrators bring about against the organized stalking, gang stalking, targeted individual in order to drive the target crazy, okay, to cause them to have a mental collapse and an emotional collapse, okay, because the gaslighting of the target individual is not the only technique that is being brought about against the organized stalking, gang stalking target, that assists in causing the target to have a mental and physical collapse, an emotional collapse. Okay? To give you an example before I expand on what the techniques were brought about against Ingrid Bergman in the movie Gaslight, so you can see those and then hear the identical techniques that are brought about by the perpetrators against the target of organized stalking, so you can see how identical they are. And I've already explained how they have the same motivations pertaining to why the technique is being used. But also, I'm going to also explain to you the additional things that are brought about against the organized gang stalking target that will assist in causing the mental collapse. Once the target mentally collapses, they'll call 911 or be baited to, and that's where the insurance fraud comes into play at, and that's where the falsified doctor reports begin to be accumulated at, along with the falsified police reports. So they can attempt to eventually take syndicated probate control as a result of accumulated documentation. Do you understand what I'm saying? So just listen. What they will basically do is gang stalk a target to their house, to their motel room, to multiple different apartment buildings, and they will employ many different tactics and techniques in order to assist, to do, basically it's harassment, okay, developed through many different schemes. And basically, let me just, while I take a couple puffs off my cigarette, what I'm going to do is play the audio of a video that you can even go to YouTube and watch. It's called, go to YouTube and type in gang stalking bullying on steroids. I'm going to play you the audio of that, and what that is a news broadcast of a targeted individual from Santa Cruz, California, who was being covered on the news in 2011. And you're going to hear the news reporter talk about what he's experiencing, and then you're going to hear him make a few statements, and then you're going to hear a Lieutenant Larry Richard talk about gang stalking a little bit. So let me just play you that audio file so you can literally hear the factual reality that this crime has even been covered on the news. Okay, so you can deliberate for yourself that... Where the hell did it go? Wait a minute. I got it. It's just right here. Hang on. Here it is. Okay, so you're going to be able to... I want you to listen to the statements of a news broadcast of a gang stalking target being covered on the news pertaining to what's happening to him. Just listen.
This story on our website, kcba.com. Due to not police call it bullying on steroids. We're talking about gang stalking, but it actually has nothing to do with the gangs that you first think of. Southern Coast News reporter Candace Wynn learned more about the trend and how it's getting more dangerous because of the internet. It makes me so afraid.
Lawrence Gazino claims his neighbors are gang stalking him because he plays loud music late at night and is outspoken. He said for the last year and a half he's been systematically followed by a group of people. At one point he said they climbed on his roof to harass him. Gazino said he's developed a paranoia that's devastated his relationships with friends and, worst of all, family.
That's the worst part of it. If it was me, I would take action.
Santa Cruz Police Lieutenant Larry Richards said police are becoming more aware of gang stalking because of cyberbullying. But what is gang stalking? Basically, the victims could be driving their car or talking on their phones or walking the streets when a group of people try to systematically terrorize them. Richards said gang stalking is nothing new, but new technology is making it more common.
Gang stalking itself, they have elevated themselves to technology. So this is something that's been going on before the age of Facebook, Twitter, those other social websites. They just now have gone into those areas.
Gazino said he's proof that the problem isn't just online and that it can hit too close to home, a home he plans on leaving because of gang stalking.
I want to be able to go to the tennis course and play tennis or play ping pong without people following us everywhere. It's just nerve-wracking.
I'm Candace Wynn in Salinas, your Central Coast News.
If found guilty of gang stalking, the person may face criminal, conspiracy, and stalking charges, all of which are felony charges in California.
Okay, now, I'm in California. I'm in San Diego. California has got the highest number of percentage of targeted individuals in the United States. You would not believe the criminality that's happening in the state. Now, did you notice how this woman, hang on a second. Did you notice how this woman in this particular video, along with the man, stated that how they climbed on this guy's roof to harass him? They wanted him to hear them up on his roof. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, notice how the news reporter, I'll get back to the roof in a second, and notice how the news reporter said that the victim of the crime can be driving in their car, talking on their cell phone, or walking down the street when a group of people tried to systematically terrorize them. I was riding my bike down the street on Thanksgiving Day 2013, which is not even 2 months ago. It'll be 2 months to the date in 3 days, because today's date is January 25th, 2014. As I was going down the street, minding my own business, with a running recording tape recorder on me, recording, okay, 2 individuals appeared on the sidewalk and blocked my ability to continue to ride my bicycle on the sidewalk. That's right, they were set up to engage me in a harassment campaign they were intending to bring about towards me, and they did, and all of it was caught on audio file. That's right. That's right. And as they're harassing me and threatening me, they're literally saying gang stalking as they're doing it, because they wanted me to know that what was happening was because of gang stalking. I'm going to play you when it was caught on tape. I then came here, and then the next morning I transferred it from the audio file, the pertinent part of the event, to my phone. Now I want you to listen to these guys when they say gang stalk, gang stalking, and gang is stalking. I'm going to F you up. Alright, now, remember what the news reporter said, that the victim can be riding their car, talking on their phone, or walking down the street when a group of people try to systematically terrorize them. Now, that was just one event. Now, let me get back to what the individual said about, in reference to how they got the people who were gang stalking the guy who was covered on the news, okay, which you just heard the audio of. He stated that they got on the roof of his home so that the guy, while he was in his home, would be able to hear them up on the roof. As a result, he's not able to relax. He gets up off the couch, goes outside, tries to catch them on his roof. By the time he does that, they're already gone. Now you might think to yourself, well, how would they know he's getting up to try and catch them? In organized stalking and gang stalking expeditions, they use a bunch of different types of techniques in order to be able to put the target under covert surveillance. Now you gotta listen to what I state, and everything I state, go to Google and YouTube and type it in and cross-reference it to organized stalking or gang stalking. And they are the following. They can hack into a target's cell phone, even when it's off, and use it as a microphone so they can hear what the target's doing. They can hack into the camera on the phone and use it as a camera. They can also use the cell phone as a GPS locator. Okay? Now, they can also hack into a target's computer and use the camera on the computer and use the computer as a listening device. They will also wait until the targeted individual leaves the home, their own home, whether it be a motel room, an apartment, a condominium, or a house, and set up a bunch of different really small voice-activated recorders and hidden cameras. I had read one targeted individual's blog that stated they found a hidden camera behind the mirror of their bathroom of their medicine cabinet. Another targeted individual said that they found a hidden voice-activated recorder. No, it was actually a different type of... They said they found a voice recorder or some kind of microphone hidden in the plywood of the panel of their closet door. See, because what these individuals do is put the targeted individual under surveillance so they can see and hear what the targeted individual is doing in their home, their motel room, their apartment, their car, and their phone, including landlines. And basically what they do is do this so they can listen to what the target individual is doing, and even what the target individual is doing on the internet, typing, what blogs they're making, what websites they might frequent. And then what they'll do is harass the target from the other side of the wall of their apartment about what they're literally doing in their apartment to psychologically undermine the target, because the target hears. Basically what they do is parrot. You know how a parrot will repeat what you're saying? What they'll do, like say if a target individual is getting out a can of wholemeal chili in their kitchen to cook it, they see it because of the cameras that they have set up in their home. Okay? And then what they'll do is get on the other side of the wall of the apartment and speak just loud enough, or outside of the door, if the door is very close to the kitchen, and say, "Why is he heating up wholemeal chili? What's the matter with him?" Okay, now keep that in your mind, that description. Now, going back to the movie Gaslight, what the husband was doing with her was he was acting like he was leaving for the day to go about, you know, whatever he was going to go do. He'd kiss Ingrid Bergman goodbye, and then he'd walk out the door and then walk around the house and go back up into the house through a separate hidden entrance, okay, and then go up into the attic. And that attic covered the entire attic floor, covered the entire house, in reference to all the different rooms of the house. He then drilled, I guess, peek holes so he could watch what she was doing and then talk to her just loud enough for her to hear, and he was making statements about what she was doing. Plus, he was also flickering with the lights. Okay, she would hear it, she'd start thinking, what am I hearing? And then he would make statements along the lines that if you don't believe you're hearing this, look at the light. And then the light would flicker, because he was playing around with the electrical system of the lights. Now, this was done to psychologically undermine her, to make her think she was hearing voices, and it was done to make her think she was going crazy, to drive her crazy, and to also make her appear crazy to their circle of friends. Okay, you gotta watch the entire movie. It's the same exact thing they do in gang stalking. They bring about these types of psychological harassment skits along the targeted individual's routes using the direct conversation method. Google that. They'll set up, right now where I'm hiking at, right now, they set up some freaks to hike out about 100 feet away. Okay? Then, from that area where they're hiking at, they created a ledge. And then once they get to the end of the ledge, they become closer to my area. And they'll stand on that ledge and say, gang stalk. Or they'll say, what is she doing now? Or why is she doing that? Now, these dumbass criminal skanks think that I'm stupid enough to worry about me exposing what they're doing. Like if a criminal syndicated cop or judge or prosecutor got a hold of this video file, they'll say, do you see how crazy Miss Williams is? Now she's claiming people are getting up on a ledge and saying things about what she might be doing. Yeah, this is for them if they're watching my video. Okay? And the reason why I'm saying that is because all you have to do right now is go to YouTube and type in cell phone hacking and gang stalking. I got 2 cell phones. Cell phone hacking and stalking. And look at how they can treat your phone. It's called snooper technology as well. They can treat your phone, okay, as a microphone, the part where you're speaking to. They can use the camera on your phone, okay, and they can use it as a GPS locator so they know where you're at when you're out and about in the community in order for the manager of these expeditions to place the individuals along your route to harass you. Remember what you just heard in reference to me riding my bike down the street? Now, every single description that I've described in this YouTube video, all you got to do is research the descriptions at Google and YouTube, and you will see that I am telling you the undisputable truth. Undisputable. I have listened to John Hall's satellite terrorism videos online that you can YouTube. Okay? He talks about other technology that they're using to monitor and harass a target with. That's right. That's right. That's right. Think about it this way. I want you to listen to this. Throughout the entire year of 2013, I was making a video every single, because I've been at this hiking area now for 15 full months. That's way over a year. I moved here in October of 2012. I want you to listen to this. Throughout the entire year of 2013, I was making a video every single day. 2 videos actually. Every single day. I made a video pertaining to my tent and my property here in case they decided to try and steal anything. That way I could prove it was here. Then I made a separate video. And that video was basically talking about predictions pertaining to what could happen for the day once I leave the area. Now, when I made the first videos, what I was basically doing was not only showing my property, my tent, and stating to the fact that I have other hidden property close by my tent, and then I was also making statements about the dweebs they set up 100 feet away. But guess what else I was talking about? I was also mentioning in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos that were made throughout the entire year of 2013, in those videos, I was showing a picture of the sidewalk, which is about 125 feet away. And I was stating that they were putting people up on the sidewalk to go by on their bikes and as they jog by, and saying gang stalking. And then periodically when they were doing that, I was also making videos about the other things they were doing, okay, when they would periodically do that. I was also stating that they were getting up on the sidewalk and saying gang stalking, or they were saying gang stalker, why don't you come and steal our stuff? Then I made other videos, in the prediction videos, stating that they were saying gang stalker, by using 2 separate UCSD students on 2 separate dates in the food court, which is a building where a bunch of restaurants are on UCSD campus. I stated that they got 2 separate students to walk by me on 2 separate dates to say, gang stalker, why don't you go and steal our stuff? Now, I made statements to that effect on at least 150 to 200 videos throughout the entire year of 2013 because I was making a video every day. Then this event happens on a sidewalk. I'm not going to say what sidewalk it was, okay? And then listen to how these guys are saying, gang stalking, I'm going to F you up. That's a threat. Do you see what I'm saying? This doesn't occur until November 28, 2013, Thanksgiving Day, right up the street from UCSD. That's right, that's right. And as they're harassing me, they're saying, gang of stalking, I'm going to F you up. That's a threat. Now, throughout the entire year of 2013, I was stating that they were getting up on this sidewalk and saying, gang stalker, why don't you come and steal our stuff? That's a threat while they're saying gang stalker. Then these guys magically appear on the sidewalk and say, gang of stalking, I'm going to F you up. That's a threat. It literally proves that I was already telling the truth in every single one of those videos that were already published online before this event occurred. Do you understand what I'm saying? Same exact identical method, just a different threat. So I want you to hear it again. You know, and so basically, good luck to any perpetrator who's watching this friggin' video right now. This is meant for you, and I could give 2 shits how it looks. Okay? Because what do you think I was doing throughout the entire year of 2013? Saying things that weren't happening, and then I catch this? And listen to this. I got over 800 separate audio files of individuals getting around me and saying gang stalk everywhere I go. In the same exact identical way that they say it. Like gang stalk, gang stalker, gang stalking. Oh my god, weird, crazy, gang stalk, gang stalker, gang stalker, gang stalker. Oh my god, weird, crazy, gang stalker. In that way. Everywhere I go, non-stop. That's right. So what do you think? Do you think my tape recorders are delusional? Is my phone delusional?
Right here. What? Shut up. You fucking little wrong? Wait on, asshole. Wrong? Hey, it's a little wrong. Why, man? Be nice. You fucking little cuddle. Be nice. No. Get the fuck on. You fucking little cuddle.
Do you see what I'm saying? Now, think about this. If I made the statement that they set up some bums 100 feet away to hike out, and then they created a ledge so they can walk on the ledge from their hiking area to get to the end of the ledge, which brings them closer to my tent, so they could say gang stalk, suck my you know what, and then laugh about it, and then make general statements like, what is she doing? What is she doing? If I'll turn on the radio, they'll say, why is she turning on the radio? What's the matter with her? Is she crazy? Shit like that. That's gaslighting. It's a term that gang stalkers use. Now, these little filthy bums that are set up 100 feet away, they're being managed by the asshole that's managing this expedition against me. But think about this. I'm telling you today that they do this, just like I was making videos throughout the entire year of 2013 that individuals are getting up on the sidewalk and doing what they're doing. Now, think about this. How did they know I was here to place those individuals up on the sidewalk to say what they were saying in reference to how I was making videos about it throughout the entire year of 2013? And those videos were published, hundreds of them, before this event occurred on Thanksgiving Day. This event shows I was telling the truth in all of those videos, and I can prove this event occurred on Thanksgiving Day, 2013. So, since you hear me telling you that hundreds of videos were already published online pertaining to me exposing that they were putting people up on the sidewalk to say, gang stalk, why don't you come and steal our stuff? Okay, I had no proof of it because they would say it as they went by, and the tape recorder can't pick it up from that far of a distance. But I have finally proven it now, haven't I? Hell yeah, I have. So, when I say to you that these little filthy criminal skanks they set up 100 feet away who are trying to play mind games with me every day by saying shit from a distance, see, what you gotta also understand is this. Listen, these perpetrators, it's all over the internet that they're hacking into target cell phones, that they hack into their landline phone, that they hack into their computers, that they break into people's homes, apartments, and cars and set up video surveillance and listening devices so they can listen to what the target's doing and even get around them out and about in the community and regurgitate what the target did online, on the phone, or in the privacy of their home. And if you go to YouTube right now and type in cell phone hacking and stalking, you'll see 2 women being covered on a morning show, and she's stating that that's exactly what's happening to her. They just don't know they're gang stalking targets yet. yet. Because what is happening to them two women in reference to what they're doing to their daughter pertaining to their cell phone are gang stalking methods. They're literally using their phone as a microphone, a camera, okay? And I don't know if they're using it for a GPS device. But then, as a result of the phone that's hacked being used as a microphone, the perpetrators who did it then sent the phone voice messages to regurgitate what was observed. That's a method of gang stalking. It's called the direct conversation method. Google it and YouTube it. That's right. That's right. That's right. And all you got to do is Google and YouTube cell phone hacking and gang stalking, cell phone hacking and organized stalking. You can go to Google and type in how they will set up microphones around your house, in your car, in your apartment, in your hotel room. Do you honestly think that they would not possibly do that at a hiking area? So they can hear what I'm saying when I'm making a video, okay? And then once the video is stopped, they'll get up on the ledge and say, "Is she crazy? Is she crazy? Watch the movie Gaslight." Now think about this. Go to Google and type in gang stalking or organized stalking and the word gaslight. And you will see that that term has been used all over the internet for years, decades, to describe what gang stalking targets experience. So why would individuals who are seasoned, educated journalists, okay, and researchers and activist groups and everything coin the phrase and the term gaslight to describe gang stalking methods if what was in the movie Gaslight is not being subjected to gang stalking targets? They're psychological operations. They're designed to surveil you, spy on you, observe what you're doing, and then harass you about it from a distance. That way they can't be caught, and then if you complain about it, they call you crazy. Including their syndicated filthy whore cops. That's right. I do what I do to tell the truth. And if any perpetrator is watching this video, fuck you. Okay? I do what I do because the truth matters. Now, as far as me hiking, they stole my rent. Go to Google right now and type in property owners and landlords and gang stalking, or organized stalking. Then go to Google and type in the same two, mail theft and mail delayment, rent. Even rent that's mailed certified mail return receipt, including typing in postal workers. In your first day of research in reference to these types of criminalities, you will discover that organized stalking, gang stalking targeted individuals are made homeless by practically every target is made homeless. Okay? Now, so when you research every single thing that I've stated, when you research every single thing that I have described in this YouTube video, you will literally see that I'm telling you the truth. Literally. In fact, John Hall did a video online. If you went to YouTube right now and typed in John Hall satellite terrorism, you'll hear him talk about how they went into his fiance's home and set up a voice-activated recorder. The direct conversation method is directly intended to be used as a result of them spying on the target. Because what they do, like, there's an example that's on the internet in reference to the direct conversation method, and that example goes like this, where I think it was termed a guy named Ed or Joe. His uncle died on the golf course, and he was a target. And then right after he found out about it, some perpetrators got around him out and about in the community and would have a conversation right next to him, and then regurgitate and act like they were having a conversation. And they would say, "Yeah, my uncle just died the other day of a heart attack on the golf course." Because Joe's uncle just died 2 days ago from a heart attack on a golf course. It's done to undermine your psychology about how people can be getting around the target individual and doing a bunch of other things as well to let them know they're being stalked. Think about it. 800 audio files do not lie. They do not lie. Period. End of story. Do you honestly think that you could ever call a tape recorder delusional? Now, I showed you an audio file pertaining to what happened, hold on a second, on Thanksgiving Day, okay, 2013. You clearly heard them two little filthy animals say gang stalk around me, and gang stalking and gang stalking, I'm going to F you up, as I'm innocently riding my own bike on my way home from the movies, okay? Now, you might think to yourself, what am I doing right now? As soon as I can find my other, see, I got two phones, and the reason why I got two phones is because you can only open up so many YouTube accounts with one phone number before YouTube starts telling you that you can't open up any more YouTube accounts with this phone number, because I make videos that are longer than 15 minutes. This phone right here, in closing, literally shows you, it's a video file that was taken as I was on a bus as I was on a bus in Yucca Valley, California on December 11th, 2012. Yucca Valley is 167 miles away from La Jolla, where I've been living for 15 months. I went out there for a week from this location. Now, I want you to listen to this as soon as the phone boots on. You're going to hear two men on the bus say gang stalker repeatedly, and when you hear them say that, listen for somebody saying, oh my God, before it and after it, and or after it, and then you hear a woman flat out say gang stalking. Now, getting around me and doing that, see, you got to look at it this way. Say if, because these are repeating words, phrases, physical gestures, it's called sensitization methods. And sensitization methods are basically a method where they will make a target sensitive to a specific word, phrase, physical gesture, certain person, certain persons, certain types of people, sounds, colors, even specific ways of coughing. All this can be Googled. Okay? And then once they anchor an association in the target's mind to the word, phrase, physical gesture, sound, color, person, certain types of persons, they will then repeatedly repeat it everywhere you go, non-stop along your routes. It's a clever way to make you feel stalked. Think about this. If you went to 5 stores in one day and wore a tape recorder on you, okay? And you left your house with the tape recorder recording, say you went to Walmart, Radio Shack, Best Buy, Staples, and then a restaurant. 5 places you went, back to back, with the tape recorder recording, okay? And let's just even make it even better, because this is actually something that I do. Before I leave this area every day, I make a video prediction pertaining to what's going to be said around me, and if it is, it'll be caught on the tape recorder, okay? And so, say before you leave your house, you make a statement in your tape recorder and even in a video file. Let's see if you hear gang stalking, or gang stalker, or gang stalk, especially in specific ways. Repeat it around you, anywhere you go for the day. The tape recorder reflects the date and time you made this audio prediction. Then if you make a video prediction, you can show a picture of your cell phone, which shows the date and the time, and then you can even use the cell phone to tell you the date and time. You then leave here and go to all 5 of these places, and at each place it's said around you non-stop. The tape recorder will reflect a later time in the same date, which means you were stalked from the place you were living at to these places in order to put the crafted harassment around you. Do you understand? Them getting around a targeted individual and representing what the target has been sensitized to non-stop is their way to victimize the target. It's their way to overtly let them know they're being gang stalked. It's their way to keep the target individual mentally preoccupied with it. And this tactic is utilized against the target individual everywhere, every day, non-stop. And that's including while the target individual is trying to survive the homelessness, assaults. Go to YouTube and type in "learning disabled woman brutally assaulted on an MTS bus," and make sure you look at every single thing that's in the description of that YouTube video. It will blow your mind. That assault was predicted 11 days before it occurred in an email file. The email file was printed, scanned, and attached in one of the blogs that is in the description of that YouTube video. The PDF link that holds the printed out and scanned email is titled Assault 11. Once you open up the blog, just go down to that word, click on it, and you'll see the email. And then MTS sent me an altered video. Go to Google and type in "learning disabled woman exposes how MTS assault video is altered." I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams. Doing things around you, like getting perfect strangers to get around you and have them repeat personal information that you did in your home, like on the phone or on the computer, or talking to somebody inside your own home, and then as a result of them knowing it because they bugged your house, what they do is then use any dupe dummy they can get a hold of they show a video. Basically what it is that most of the harassment and target experiences is nothing but dupe dummies. Dupe community members who have been lied to about the target. They're then showed a video picture of the target or a picture of the target, and then they're told where to go to in reference to the manager knowing where the target's at. They're then told to go where the target's at, and then they're told what to do once they get there. Repeat the physical gestures, the words, the phrases, or personal information that the target just did in their home that morning or the day before or whatever. Okay, it's also done to sensitize the target to other words like weird, crazy, psycho, bitch, sir. Like if it's a woman, they'll call the woman sir. If it's a man, they'll call the man ma'am. Because they even try to attack your sexual identity. Yeah. All these things become internalized as a result of you constantly having to hear it every day. When you know that something intentionally is being done, that makes you feel victimized. Now, as far as the filthy bums that they set up 100 feet away, let me tell you something right now. These little filthy animals, if they were ever caught, they would deny it up and down the road and call me crazy concerning it. And the syndicated San Diego police officers would definitely feel very happy to write a intentional falsified incident report. That's right, because they stage events as well to make it appear that the police being called is happening because of normal appearing reasons. When that occurs, it's called a street theater. You can Google that. So, why did they get on the roof of this guy's house? The guy that was covered in the news broadcast, gang stalking, bullying on steroids. Because what they basically wanted to do was get on top of his house and stomp to make him notice that they were there. Okay, while they were doing other things like standing outside of his window and talking and then running. He'd hear it, he'd get up, go run to see if he could catch him. As a result, he never gets to relax. So they make sure that he hears them up on his roof. Okay, while he's experiencing all the harassment along all of his routes and at his home. Okay, then on subsequent days, all they got to do is throw a rock on the top of the roof of his house. Do you see what I'm saying? Because he's already been, them being on the top of his house on his roof has already been mentally associated in his mind. Therefore, every time he hears a thump on his roof of his house, he's brought back to the campaign that's happening to him mentally. Psychological operations. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's non-stop harassment every day in one form or another. That's right. That's right. I'm in San Diego, California. I'm preparing to move from this area. Okay? And when I move, you better be dang sure that I'm going to expose who this asshole was. Okay? One of the guys in the Thanksgiving event has harassed me on anywhere between 8 and 11 separate occasions. Is he connected to GILL times 2, I'm a woman, not a man? That's a code word that describes a specific location. Yes. Yes. And you better be darn sure, that the syndicated cops will let him walk away. If anybody ever eyeballs him and says, yeah, I heard him harassing her, okay, before the police are called or when the police are called, they'll get on their cell phones and say, we just got a call, you better get out of here. And boom, magically he disappears. You better believe it. You better believe it. I already know that certain San Diego police officers are involved in this. On February 20th, 2013, I caught an individual on a corner admitting that a San Diego police officer by the name of Steve put him on a corner to engage in the repeated physical gestures. I just made a video about it this morning. Alright, I gotta go. In reference to, because when he admitted it, he got caught on tape. So I wanted to keep that event fresh in the public's mind, so I re-uploaded it again today. And I'm going to be uploading that video probably Tuesday. Alright, my name is Leslie Williams. I'm in San Diego, California. So I hope now you have a clear understanding of what gaslight is, and even the motivations behind it. Yes, how do you think you would feel if, you know how like when you have a long day after running around all day, you worked all day, and then after you get off work, you got to pick up the kids, you got to do errands. By the time you get home, you're tired. You just want to relax. You don't want to be bothered. Then you get home, and you're harassed. But when you're a gang stalking target, they'll also gang stalk you at work. Because the business community is brought on board in these campaigns. When an employee is being gang stalked at work, it's called work mobbing. Google it. That's right. That's why I'm being harassed by the business community when I go in any business. Just Google it. So can you imagine being a gang stalking target and being gang stalked at work, then along your routes on your way home, and then once you get home? They don't care. They're filthy animals. And when an employee is gang stalked at work, they eventually get fired. Because they stage events to make it appear that the firing of the target was being done for legitimate reasons. That's how they create the homelessness in part. That's right. By getting landlords and property owners on board, staging an event at the apartment complex, using the event, blaming the target for the event, and then using it and then they'll repeat one or two of them, and then use that as an excuse to evict them. And if they're not comfortable with that technique, they'll steal the rent out of the mail. Okay, they will. In a second, just Google it. So anyways, in closing, this is my way to describe to you what gang stalking targeted individuals put up with. Now, in closing, I got a couple separate audio files. I should have got them out, but maybe I'll upload. I tell you what I'll do tomorrow. I'll get them out, and I'll upload the audios to a video file showing you two separate individuals. John Hall's talking about gang stalking and the fact that these perpetrators will stand outside your door of your house to say things for you to hear, which I've already talked about. And then James Walber says the same thing, how they'll stand outside the window of your house to harass you. Because the manager of these expeditions is using different people, but everybody they use does the same thing. All pertaining to the environment you're in. Okay? Like them assholes, they yell gang stalk. I've caught them on audio file. I've even caught them on video file. But they're not worried about it because the people who are managing these expeditions are in the system. Police officers, judges, possibly members in the district attorney's office, possible members in the prosecutor's office. Do you understand what I'm telling you? And they're communicating with each other by cell phone. By cell phone. That's right. That's right. That's right. I hear them say things like, you better hurry up and get her out of here. Now, why do you think that they're saying that? To even possibly make me so sick of hearing it that I'll make a video about it so the police can say, Leslie's paranoid. She thinks people are trying to come and get her out of here. Do you see what I'm saying? One of the main methodologies of gang stalking is to call the target crazy, and they're using gaslighting techniques to bait them to talk about it and to make the target appear crazy. Now, keep in mind what I'm telling you. 800 audio files of individuals getting along all my routes and saying gang stalk. Why would they be doing that? I don't know anybody in San Diego. I don't know anybody in the entire state of California. And all my YouTube videos are titled Learning Disabled Woman. And why would anybody be walking up and down the street and saying gang stalk towards me as they're threatening me? I'm not talking about this street. Okay? Why would anybody be doing that? Why do I have 800 audio files of individuals getting around me saying gang stalk, gang stalk, gang stalker, gang stalk, gang stalker, gang stalk, gang stalk? Oh my God, we're crazy. In that way. In that same exact identical way, everywhere I go, non-stop. Do you really believe? Just go to YouTube right now and type in gang stalking space direct conversation. You'll see a bunch of my videos. Alright, I gotta go. I'm in San Diego, California. And by the way, I caught this tactic of people getting around me saying gang stalk inside the San Diego Police Department headquarters on audio file. Uploaded it to video. So how crazy do you really think I am? Are you serious? I mean, that don't fly. It don't fly. So in closing, I want you to listen to the audio file again. Proof is in the pudding, baby cakes.
Right here. Shut up. You fucking little wrong. Right on, asshole. Wrong? Hey, it's a little wrong. Why, Dan? You fucking little criminal. Get the fuck on. You fucking little criminal. Do it right now. I'm standing right here. I'm standing right here. What? Shut up. You fucking little wrong. Right on, asshole. Wrong? Hey, it's a little wrong. Why, Dan? You fucking little criminal. Get the fuck on. You fucking little criminal. Do it right now. I'm standing right here. Get the fuck on. You fucking little criminal.
How do these guys know I'm being gang stalked? Think about that. That in itself right there alone shows you that this was a setup. Say if I live in San Diego County. Say if I leave San Diego County and go to Coronado, and before I leave here, I predict that once I get to Coronado, a complete stranger is going to walk around me and repeat gang stalk. I then leave here, go there, and it's caught on audio file for the entire time duration while I'm in Coronado, just like it was in Yucca Valley. I bet I have at least 50 audio files dedicated to the Yucca Valley experiences. Same method that was utilized around me in San Diego County was utilized against me in Yucca Valley. So if they'll gang stalk me from this hiking area, from this hiking area to Yucca Valley, do you honestly think I'm not being gang stalked at this hiking area? In closing, in 2012, I was staying in another hiking area before I came here. At that hiking area, I was experiencing the same exact identical harassment. That was happening between August of 2011 and, between March of 2012 and October 2012. People were getting up on the sidewalk off the, I was staying on a level ground, and then there was a hill, and then there was a sidewalk. people were walking by the sidewalk and saying gang stalker. I made videos about it and published them in between March of 2012 and October 2012. I then moved here and have been here ever since, and have caught over 600 additional audio files of them doing the same exact thing along all of my routes here in La Jolla. It shows I was telling the truth pertaining to the last hiking area. Do you see what I'm saying? Listen. If you listen close enough, you'll hear him. Alright, now that's just my way of proving that they're here. Okay, you gotta probably really put your earphones up to your head. Now again, their hiking area is 100 feet away, but they cleared out a ledge so they could walk from their hiking area, and then by the time they get to the end of the edge, they're practically almost, I'd say about 10 feet away from being directly parallel to me. That way at night, once I'm trying to listen to my radio shows and I have the radio on, they compete for my attention by yelling things at the end of the ledge while I'm trying to listen to my radio. Because the whole goal in gang stalking is not just to cause a mental collapse and a physical collapse, and a physical collapse and a financial collapse, because of the money you got to spend from moving from place to place to place, surviving. But they also want to make sure that they not only target your entire life, but they also target your quality of life. If you can never have no mental peace, especially since the things that are causing the harassment is abusive. Getting along a person's route and constantly repeating bitch, weird, stupid, crazy, gang stalker. That's their way to call you a bitch, weird, and crazy, and let you know that it's happening because of gang stalking. Do you understand what I'm saying? While you're experiencing everything that you experience. I made this video to inform, to expose the truth, so my fellow targeted individuals can understand how they're experiencing what they're experiencing. And don't forget to watch the John Hall satellite terrorism videos, every single one of them, and you can Google him as well. Alright, I gotta go, because there are specific types of technological resources that can be utilized against the targeted individual to harass them as well. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams. I made this video to inform, to expose the truth, to say fuck you to the perpetrators, and to, and I apologize if any. Did you know that I've made hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos, and I've never said F you like this in any of my videos. I just figured, why not, you know? I mean, shit. After what I experience on a daily basis, and my email accounts, blog accounts, YouTube accounts, and petition accounts I open up in order to post petitions online, they're all hacked. They're all hacked. That's right. So anyways, I think that gives me the right to say F you to any perpetrators who are intentionally watching my videos so they can possibly try and even use them against me by saying, look at how crazy Miss Williams seems. Oh, well, yeah, but I'm not crazy. Look, I got gang stalker on my phone. I go to show it to them. They say, I don't think that's gang stalking. I literally showed this Thanksgiving event to a UCSD campus police officer a couple weeks ago, and I said, did you hear it? And they go, I can't clearly hear it. And why did they say that? Are they aware that gang stalking is happening on their campus? See, even when you go to show these assholes evidence, they'll act like that they can't make it out or can't understand it. You see what I'm saying? That way they don't have to acknowledge that it's evidence, like the police. If they acknowledge that's evidence, then they can be charged. They can already be charged with gross negligence of duty. I'm going to sue them eventually. You better be damn sure I'm going to sue them. And we're going to see how my case gets sent to a syndicated judge, and he'll literally say that my evidence isn't evidence. He'll say that it's not clearly audible, that it's not clearly distinguishably audibly heard. If it's a he. Literally, it's organized crime in the system. and they use the system to perpetrate the crimes and to protect them. Fellow targeted individuals, if you're out there watching this particular video, I made this for you because I love you. The perpetrators that are watching this video, and as far as any community members go, I apologize that you had to see me give the finger, but if you knew what I experience and what I go through, I think you'd understand. Anyways, I made this video to inform, to expose the truth. I'm in La Jolla, California. Me and gang stalked along all my routes every single day, everywhere I go. And I want to be honest with you, though, since this Thanksgiving event, they have backed off from saying gang stalking around me. They were saying, like on a scale of 1 to 10, they were saying at the 10 level for 2 years. After this Thanksgiving event, they're only doing it like on a level 2 on a scale of 1 to 10. They went back to using physical gestures. Go to YouTube and type in "Learning Disabled Woman Catches Gang Stalker Admitting Sent to Harass." Read comments. 3 teenagers admitted they were put on a bus route to engage in physical gestures, and I was wearing a running recording tape recorder when they admitted it. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams. I gotta go. I do appreciate you listening. I really do. And I hope and pray that you meticulously research everything that I described in this video so you can see the heinous torture, harassment, stalking, and assault of a learning disabled woman. And then just think to yourself, realistically, why won't the San Diego police make a police report? And why won't the San Diego District Attorney's Office investigate it? Who are they protecting? The universities have been gang stalked at, the businesses, the transportation services, past behavior of theirs. Alright, I gotta go. I do appreciate listening, and have a nice day.